Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So welcome back every single person to the video. In today's video we are discussing the most recent and such a long awaited update in the BrickX micro investing idea, platform, project, anything like that, I guess you could call it. I will of course break down what is going on in a quick way for those of you who have already seen it, but also so that I can let you guys know what in the world I am talking about. So let's head in right about now. So of course, for the new people to this series who haven't seen the previous episodes, I highly encourage that you do. You can pause and come back here after you watch them, or I'll just give you a quick summary now. So essentially we decided to try out, I decided to try out a micro investing platform. So that's basically a way to invest a tiny amount of money into something that would usually be a lot larger. So we chose to use BrickX, which, well, you can tell from the title, BrickX is about buying bricks. So properties, I didn't make that clear enough. So we did buy some micro shares in a property. So bricks, I guess you could call them. And it has been a long wait to see what the property has been revalued at. What is it worth now? And have I made any money on my investment? So the answer is no. I'll put it that way. We haven't made any money. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So technically, from the last valuation, or the first valuation this year, it was valued at $428,000 for the whole property. Of course, I did not buy that whole amount. That's what it was valued at in January of 2020, January this year. Well, at least when I'm recording it. So that was the property value. And then this property does have debt on it by the owners. Of course, not many people can afford to buy a house completely outright. So there is about $100,000 worth of debt, a bit less than that. And so therefore the property brick price is 1/10,000th of the whole property price. And therefore the price was about $34 at the start of the year. So that's just a rough estimate. And so at this current point in time, the property has been valued at $448,000. So that's a $20,000 property increase, and therefore a $2 increase in the total price of the brick, which is actually a fairly good increase if you think about it, because that's just about 4.6% return in 6 months, which I guess I consider to be a pretty good return on investment. So therefore that leaves us with 3 bricks that we bought at about 35. So I did not make a 4.6 return because I did buy my bricks at about $35, because obviously they do update it fairly regularly. It's just the proper valuation is every 6 months. So I haven't really made any money except for a little bit from my tiny amounts of rent. But the fact is that the property has gone up nearly 5% in the 6-month period. And the total increase over the last 20-year average for this property has been 7.98% a year. So therefore, we've actually surpassed that by quite a lot. This is valuing it at nearly a 9.4% increase, because the actual increase is around there. So that's actually an average of 9.4% increase this year, which is very much above the previous average of all the years. So we can see that even though there is a bit of a housing crisis going on where I currently am in the metropolitan Melbourne area of Victoria, Australia, a lot of people are choosing to put their money and their choice of house into more country areas, because due to the current illness going around, of course, people do want to be in the more isolated areas. I forgot to mention, I've got this weird thing beeping. It doesn't stop beeping. It is very annoying. I've tried to take this video 3 times and I'm not redoing it. This is the 3rd clip of doing this. That thing does not stop beeping. We're going to continue the video. So, a lot of people are choosing to move into more country areas. Ballarat, this is where this one is. All those sort of country areas. I don't know very many of them in terms of names. I know there's hundreds of small towns and cities around country Melbourne. So, of course, people are choosing to become a bit more isolated, I guess you could call it. A bit of a tongue twister there. But they're choosing to move away because at the current time, Places like Ballarat do have lower restrictions in terms of what they can do, because we do, of course, have restrictions. Melbourne is currently in a stage 4 lockdown. It is due to lift up soon, but those outside of metropolitan areas, apart from some select areas, are, of course, now in stage 3, not stage 4. So a lot of people prefer to have more freedom of life, and given that the population is so much smaller in those more country areas, it's drawing a lot of people there. So who would have thought that this whole crisis going on at the moment has actually led to the increase in this certain place? I think I just chose lucky, because I don't know if I told you guys this, but in the first early days of choosing bricks for BrickX, I was looking at a place in Brunswick, which is in metropolitan Melbourne area. It would look like a really, really nice brick. It had been improving really well over the past years, and pretty much the day before I was choosing to buy my bricks, it showed up as mass property damage. So they put that brick out of action and they're stopping the rental distribution. So I chose very lucky. I actually made a really good decision in choosing a more country area in Ballarat, because of course that is the place where things are happy at these times. It is holding its value, which is more than I expected, because most metropolitan Melbourne areas are losing value. So I'm pretty happy with that. It actually has increased if you look at it since January, and I'm pretty happy with it. So of course, if you guys are interested in doing this yourself, you've heard from me, I bought my bricks at $36 a brick. You can actually do the same yourself. It's very easy. I have made a full video. It is really long. It's about 25 minutes, my longest video ever. But it is a old version of Ethan where I sort of moped on for about 25 minutes. So I wouldn't waste your whole entire time doing it. Just sort of zip through a bit if you want. I'm not here to just take up your time. I want to help you as much as possible. So that's why I try to compact the videos down a bit. This is no royalty, loyalty, anything like this. I'm not earning any money, but it is a good platform. I can validate that after using it for about 4 months now. It's working really well. I've contacted them several times to ask about the brick, everything, ask lots of information, and they've been really, really good and quick in their response. It seems like it's doing pretty well. I mean, I had my small doubts to start with, but I really like it. It's been a really cool experience, and I'm going to continue to hold on to it, because property is one of the most popular and most successful ways to grow your money. And of course, I, as a kid, cannot afford to buy a property like this valued at $450,000. I do not have anywhere near $450,000 lying around, or even a small version of that to deposit on the house. Nothing like that yet. So it always starts small. It may not be the best way to increase your money, but at the current time, a country area in a small micro way isn't gonna hurt. Like the stock market, so volatile at the moment. One of the most strongest shares that we've ever looked at, Standard & Poor's, dropped ridiculous amounts of percentages earlier this year. People lost faith in a lot of the economy, and so when you can find something that's safe and reliable, gold and silver, I think a lot of people like to jump on it. And this is to do with regular life as well. People live in houses, it's a necessity, so it's worked out pretty well. It's an exciting experience, and I'm going to keep you guys updated because I think that a lot of you would be interested. I've actually had several requests from the viewers about more updates because people are actually interested in this. So it's really a big pleasure to make videos like this. I know I've had people from my school even asking me, well, I've seen some of your videos, but some of them are more big things. Can you give us anything simple that you can invest in? And this catches a lot of people's eyes because a lot of people do know about rental properties. And for example, gold and silver, it's a pretty big thing for some people. Even a 1 gram gold bar, it's $100, and for a kid, $100 is a lot of money. So I think this is a really good platform. It's pretty exciting, and I'm going to continue to use it. So that's all for now, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Now, remember to stay tuned on the channel and subscribe because we are having a bit of a 200 subscriber special I'm working on at the moment. The beep again. But soon there will be a bit of a special video to do with it. I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys that I've got ready for the video. So that's all for now, guys, and until next time, goodbye.